With MJF being AEW World Champion for a third time now, AEW has something that the AEW haters are afraid to say is true.
Screw the script!
Welcome back, everybody, to Screw Script. I'm your host, as always, Maverick here. Thanks for joining me this Thursday night. Let's get right into my claim. What is it that AEW has that AEW haters are afraid to admit that they have, with MJF now at the helm again as your AEW World Heavyweight Champion for a third time, just behind Jon Moxley, who has had it 4 times. And I truly do feel like MJF will have the record by the time his career is all said and done. But what is it that they have that AEW haters are afraid to admit that other companies just don't have on the level that AEW has? And that is the level of competition on the main title card. You're looking at MJF as champ, and you saw last night on a 3-hour special, you have a lot of top talent wrestlers gunning for MJF for his Triple B. You had Mark Briscoe come out, you had Roosh come out. We'll get to that in just a few minutes, but that's the claim that I have in this video. AEW's World Heavyweight title picture is better than any other promotion, period. Before I get any further in this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It has been helping me tremendously, so thank you again. My last video did even better than the video prior. I think I got almost 40 subscribers, and again, that's thanks to you guys. So keep hyping the video. If you don't know how to hype the video, here's a quick demonstration that I recorded just on my phone. It's that easy. And let's see, I'm going to challenge you guys. I've never done this before. I want to see if this video can get 500 likes. It would be awesome if you guys in the STS Society out there watching can get me 500 likes on this video. That'd be much appreciated. Now, to recap the 3-hour Dynamite and Collision that we had, great show. And not only that, but it looks like we're getting a full Collision this Saturday still. Tony Khan is just spoiling us at this point. It's Christmas every fucking week with AEW. I want to talk about the Kevin Knight stuff first that happened. We saw him come out and cut his first ever heel promo, and man, did he get nuclear heat. Holy shit, they just wouldn't stop. The Philly crowd was great, and not only that, but we saw him all but confirm the end of Jet Speed once Mike Bailey came out and said, hey, you know, it was a mistake what you did. And Mike Bailey was dropped flat on his back by Kevin Knight because Kevin Knight doubled down on his actions, and he's just gunning for himself. He explained that it should have been him instead of Darby Allin to face MJF for the title, and that he would beat MJF for that title if it would have been him. He should have been, 2 belts, Kevin 2 belts, 2 Fly 2 belts, whatever his nickname was that he had for that. It was a really, really good first heel promo. He even posted on socials, so leave him the fuck alone. You saw him backstage, long-term storytelling, walk past Swerve Strickland. There's the image of it right up there. Swerve smirked as Kevin Knight walked past him because no words were said between the two of them, but Swerve has been around long enough to know that Kevin Knight is showing his heel side of himself now, gunning for the gold. He wants to take over AEW and, damn it, put him on a fucking rocket and shoot him to the moon, because he is really good in ring. And honestly, I can already say I think I'm going to like him a lot better as a heel on the mic. He literally talks in third person. It's perfect. And now, for some storytelling, we got Speedball and Kevin Knight for the TNT Championship next Wednesday. That's going to be really good. It will not be the end of the feud. I see Kevin retaining. I have a good feeling that the new show, Redemption, that's going to be in July, I think that we are going to see that be where Mike Bailey maybe takes the belt off Kevin Knight, and we see Kevin Knight go towards the main title picture. Because he did say that he is gunning for MJF at one point. We probably will see that. Maybe not in 2026, but early 2027 maybe. We saw Mark Davis and Jack Perry have a banger Owen tournament match, and I was shocked. Mark Davis went to face Will Ospreay also next Wednesday on that Dynamite. So 2 stacked matches for that show already, and I'm sure it's going to only get any even better. I thought Jack Perry was going to win. I didn't think Mark Davis needed it as much as Jack Perry, but they are really pushing Mark Davis. We saw Jake Doyle return, so that was good. Kyle Fletcher, we'll go on to that now. He came out and cut a promo basically saying that he tried to keep the glue together for a while for the Don Callis family, but Takeshita was just being Takeshita essentially, and he decided to side with the Don Callis family. That's kind of summing up Kyle Fletcher's reasonings. He cut a great promo. Man, all of this show proved that my last video before this, if you haven't seen that, I'll link it at the end of this video. AEW's heels are fucking good. They are damn good. And they're all so damn young, too. Fletcher cut a great promo. MJF cut a great promo. Kevin Knight, great promo. And you got some others that I didn't mention. You've got Nick Wayne. He's getting better and better, and he is super young. I don't even think he's old enough to drink legally. I think he's 20. Maybe he's 21 now, but you get the point. We saw Jericho beat Ricochet to move on from that feud, so that was good. Everyone was banned from ringside. Really good match. Jericho can still go at his age. But then we saw Tommaso Ciampa, and hey, there you go again. Great heel work in AEW. Ciampa also isn't that old. He's still in his 30s. He looks a little bit older than he actually is with the bald head and the grizzly beard, but he is still in his prime and another great heel. So that's great to see. And to talk about great heels again, it just keeps getting better and better in AEW, which just further solidifies my last video. We saw the 5-second pose almost return with Cage and Cope. Great fun segment. You saw Adam Copeland bring out a bag of those old Canon point and shoot film cameras that anyone who's my age or older had when you were younger. I'm in my early 30s. That was really good. But then, young heels again strike once more. And not only that, but it was extremely long storytelling. And Chris Van Vliet actually pointed this out. Here's a little image there. The son of Finley, David Finley, and we saw Clark Connors come out. They jump Cage and Cope. They take him out. Brutal spot with Christian Cage in his forearm with the steel steps. That was nasty. But look at this. Edge attacked Finley when he was 33 and Finley was 52. Now David Finley, also 33, attacks a 52-year-old Edge. Full circle moment. Literally 20 years later. That is some deep cut storytelling right there. So shout out to Chris Van Vliet for pointing that out. I didn't even make that. I remember it happening, but I did not know that they were literally the same ages, and I think that is beautiful long-term storytelling. Other matches that were confirmed for next week on last night's episode, you do have Roosh versus MJF. Now going on to that, MJF celebration was hilarious. Cut a great scumbag promo like he always does. But then we saw Briscoe come out and sort of challenge him. We saw Roosh come out, and MJF saying that Roosh is more deserving, and that great one line that he dropped where next week, he said something along the lines of, next week the bull is going to get his horns tangled up with the devil's horns or something like that. I'm not doing it justice. MJF did a great job with that line. I thought it was brilliant. The Rascals lost to the Death Riders with Will Ospreay. Ospreay gets yet another submission victory, so that was really good storytelling to see. You saw him and Omega backstage, Omega giving him a pep talk, a sort of friendship chat. All the while, Jon Moxley was listening. Great fucking storytelling again. Not only, it's layers. It wasn't just with those two, but the fact that Kenny Omega did feud with Moxley multiple times over the 7 years that AEW's been around. They were one of the original first AEW championship feuds. TJ returned in action, had a quick squash, so that was great to see. You saw the Superstation Showcase 4-way, Roosh winning that. Brody King moved on against Claudio, and probably the hardest hitting match of the night. That was a really good match. Love seeing the Brody King push. Now I want to talk about that main event. I know it wasn't sanctioned, but it was still a match, and Statlander went over Sheeta in a really good match and actually had my Maverick moment, which is right here. Super talented Chris Statlander. She is very talented, just needs a little bit more mic work, and I don't know. It's a weird limbo with Statlander. Her in-ring skills are definitely great in there, but I just feel like AEW can't really settle on a character for her on promos, behind the scenes. Something's got to change with her, but Sheeta with the slow heel turn, that was great as well. And then another thing that was announced, since we saw that Willow had to relinquish her title and is not an Owen anymore, we have a wild card against Alex Windsor next week. Let me know down below what you think that's going to be. I'm thinking it could be Mercedes Moné. Fingers crossed. I don't know how contracts are right now. I don't know if there's a 90-day no compete, but could it be Kairi Sane? Because that would be insane if you catch my joke there. Now onto some quick AEW news before the DDT segment. Interesting update on Jon Moxley's AEW run. It is now officially longer than his WWE run, so he is not someone that you could say was a WWE guy anymore. His career has now gone on longer than it was in WWE, and he has been the backbone of AEW for a while, along with the Four Pillars and many others. So it's great to see this, as the stats are right there. 2,345 days now versus his 2,560 now that he has in AEW. So he has eclipsed it. And Moxley, I hope to God, just stays in AEW, never goes back to WWE, and he retires in AEW. Some interesting Platinum Max Caster news. We haven't seen him in a while. Apparently him and Bowens made up on an indie show and shook hands and scissored and whatnot. He says, "My new home, proud to be a part, the only place you'll see the best wrestler alive every week." And it was for a Beyond Wrestling post. I don't think he's gone, because I believe he's still on AEW's website under the roster page. But I really don't know. I don't have much more information for you guys on the Max Caster situation. I just hope that they don't let him go. I think they really need to bring back the Acclaim. That's where they were best suited in AEW, the two of them. And how great were those raps leading up to pay-per-views. I really liked them. New Japan World will no longer be offering AEW content effectively this August, but it will be available on MyAEW. Tony Khan, in my last video, I mentioned that he said that he wants to build MyAEW around a lot of indie promotions. Maybe New Japan World will be added to that. Not quite sure yet, but we now know that the AEW content for that will just be on MyAEW for people in Japan and out east to get. And MyAEW, if you're living out that area, I heard nothing but great things. Now on to my DDT segment. I have one for you again today, but this one I got off Instagram and I think is absolutely bonkers. So before you read the comment, look up above. It's a little faded because it was the post itself. It says AEW Double or Nothing 2026 has been rated the third greatest pro wrestling event of all time on Cage Match, sitting at a 9.69 with well over 400 votes now. This top comment really made me laugh, and the response by somebody made me laugh even harder. Robert Oliver Braun, you made the DDT list with this comment. Look at number 1 and 2, and you realize that rating is a freaking joke. WrestleMania Night 2 this year was a far better show. SummerSlam 2001 and 2 was much better. SummerSlam 2013, Backlash 2000, Mania 10, 17, 19, 20, 21, 30, 31, 39, 40. Come on, this list is just garbage. And the response really sent me. Mutates goes, did you actually just say Mania 42 Night 2? You're not a real person. This person's likely a troll account. Or if he generally is a real person, he's delusional, I feel like, because Double or Nothing last weekend truly was one of the best pro wrestling events in the last decade, maybe ever. And it's in the top 5 for me all time for AEW in its short 7-year stretch. And I'm just being honest with you. If we're going to bring up WWE like this person did in the comments, I cannot tell you the last time I enjoyed a WWE PLE or pay-per-view back when they were called that was even remotely close to Double or Nothing. This shit's stupid. That reasoning is stupid. And for all those reasons, Robert, you are this video's DDT. That's all I had on this episode of Screw the Script. Let me know down below your thoughts on the 3-hour special, your thoughts on the matches announced for next week, who you think is going to be the wild card to face Alex Windsor next week, and to touch base on the hacker stuff. I have found a cheap computer, used computer that I'm going to use to upload whatever in the hell is on that USB. So I'll let you guys know as soon as I get that here. It's being delivered. Obviously, I did not want to use it on my personal laptop that you see me looking down and glancing at all the time in my videos. I always look at it to see the topics that I'm talking about. The images that you always see go up are the same images that I'm looking at here. I ain't going to use that laptop. It's got a lot of personal family stuff on there too. But I will show you guys whatever is on that USB once I get to that point. As always, this has been Maverick with Smooth Script. Thanks for watching.
He's gonna fight again.